Welcome back, everyone, to Planescape Torment. Let's see if we can find some seeds. Mebeth, the midwife of the square, needs some herbs sprung from this seed. Can you help me? The man takes the seed, looks at it critically. As he presses it between his thumb and forefinger, he winces and a small drop of blood appears. Ah! The seed's got a bite to it! I noticed that. Do you know what she's talking about? He can't seem to take his eye off the seed. Lad, I don't know if there's anyone who has what your friend seeks to be square. I've never seen such a seed before. You would need someone who cultivates seeds such as this, for I have none. Where would I find such a person?
Updated my journal.
Don't know the dark of that, friend. You'd be hard-pressed to find a gardener in the hive. Maybe Mourns for Trees could help. I would say, so far, he's the only one I've met with any, botanical knowledge. Or even a botanical bent, you know? Hello, Mourns for Trees. I had some questions. I need some herbs sprung from this seed. Can you help? What an odd seed. Are those teeth along the edge? Barbs, perhaps. Where'd you come by it, friend? Old Mebeth, the midwife of the square, needs some herbs sprung from that seed. Do you know where I could find some? No. This is the only seed of its kind I've ever seen. The barbs on it are sharp indeed. Perhaps you should hold it. So you can't help me either. Unless you can make that one grow, I cannot. Again, I've never seen a seed of its like before. If we wanted it to grow enough, is it possible to make it grow? Perhaps if you cared enough to see it grow. Focus on the seed. Will it to grow. To your surprise, there is a crack, and the seed splits. Twigs splitting from its surface like fingers. Instinctively, you drop the seed, but the talon-like twigs wrap around your wrist and will not let go. What in the hells?
Updated my journal.
I think the barbs on those new branches would be more than enough for what your friend needs. I hope she can get this damn thing off me. Look, before I go, I had some other questions. Okay. Interesting. I'm pretty sure if you don't have a high enough, like, intelligence, you're not able to do that. Just like, oh, nope, I'm too stupid to do magic. I'm too dumb. Yeah, when it comes to how you want to play this game, it really depends on where you go.
I'm gone.
Dexterity to become a thief, strength to become a fighter, or intelligence to become a mage. And then wisdom can help you in a lot of little places and gives you bonus XP. Charisma gives you a higher reaction and allows your smooth-talking dialogue to actually work. And then Constitution gives you more health so you don't fall over immediately. I returned those herbs you wanted. Now maybe you can get this damn bramble patch off my wrist. Is that so? If so, think it off then. Do so.
Updated my journal.
Creaking and snapping, the black barbed branches unravel themselves from your wrist and form into a tangled ball of brush and twigs. It looks like a nest of dead black snakes. Mebeth snorts. Think it into a picture frame or some such. Something with much more structure and less angles. Concentrate on the barbed ball, then imagine it. The branch ball creaks, the twigs bending and twisting until the branches have bent themselves into a small picture frame, 2 handspans on a side. Almost unconsciously, you imagine shape the barbs to the back of the frame so it can be hung from the wall with ease. And, as an afterthought, you move the remaining barbs to the inside of the frame so it can be picked up by the edges. How's that? Ha! Square enough it is. Good work, child. Good work. This'll do nicely. Is that all you wanted it for? Aye, well, this is enough. Aye, but there was one thing I forgot to tell you. To fetch when you left last, and it'll take you back to the merchant square, it will. Look for the cloth seller Giscoral. He has some rags of mine, and he was supposed to wash, and long has it been since I first asked him to do it. You could have mentioned that before I left. All right, I'll be back.
I'm gone.
I don't think that's the way of the art, though, you know. You can't do it all at once. You have to learn it one step at a time. Shalandra lives up by the mortuary. Huh. I don't dare go through
I'm gone.
the alley of broken angles, or whatever it's called. Distorted angles? The alley of dangerous angles. Oh, well then. Angiara's house. Huh. Where is it? Where is their place exactly? This is up by the mortuary, up in the northeastern section of the hive. Am I doomed forever to seek out previous owners of this stupid thing? Maybe it's technically beyond the walls, beyond the outer walls of the mortuary, but not within. I'm glad I'm not making the Dustman angry. Ah, there it is, Shalandra's Kip. There we go. I wonder if the mortuary ever looked good once. Or if it just always sort of looked like it does.
Just folly. All right.
Yoink. I don't remember who it was. There used to be... like... There we go. I don't remember where I remember this, but there's a certain game that's popping into my head where, like, enemies would loot each other. So, like, if you killed one silently, they'd, like, pick up the loot and be like, well, he's dead, let's get the shit and run. Which made stealing things more difficult. I think this spell goes something like this. Shalandra. Blast, I almost had it that time. Don't you know it's dangerous to interrupt spellcasters while they are evoking a spell? Luckily for you, I was only practicing. What is it you want? I wish to learn more about this box. Ah, yes, I remember this box well. I acquired it some time ago. What do you wish to know from it? Who did you get it from? Let me think. I don't recall whom I got it from. I just remember I was down in the marketplace looking for some spell components when some person offered me this box. After testing it, I found out it was cursed, but was intrigued by the spells woven into it, so I purchased it anyway. If you were so intrigued by the box, what made you decide to give it away? I was young and brash back then. In my relentless pursuit of knowledge, I carelessly undid one of the spells. Look closely at the box. It was like new when I had it. The signs of decay are an indication that the spells are weakening. I realized that I was in danger if I kept it any longer, so I held a contest to get rid of it. A contest? It was the most expedient way to rid of it. I simply invited all the bashers in the hive to fight each other to determine who was the best. Bashers are notorious for having big muscles and not much upstairs, if you know what I mean. They came like flies to honey. I offered some money and the box as a prize. I believe some basher named Braskin won it. I have more questions I wish to ask. You seem to know something about magic. Can you tell me what spells have been put on the box? For many years I studied it. I tried to learn its secrets. Spell upon spell has been woven into it. To my amazement, my studies revealed that all the spells are of a type used to confine fiends. You mean there are fiends trapped in the box? No, not fiends, a fiend, and by judging by the sophistication and power of these spells, it would have to be one of significant standing and power in its realm. I have more questions. Can you safely remove the spells on this box? Do you know the history behind the box? The only thing I have been able to learn is its name. It's called the Morador's Box. As to who this Morador is or the origin of the box, I do not know. Could you safely remove the spells? Seeking to remove yourself from the box? That spell is the worst of them all. Basically, that particular spell draws energy from the current owner of the box and uses it to power one of the spells of confinement. That isn't the worst of it. The fiend inside can smell this energy and would more than likely hunt down that person should it escape. It's really a no-win situation to own that box. Either it drains you dry of your energy or the fiend within kills you. I see. If you don't mind, I'd like to ask you some more questions. Is there a way to safely dispose of Morador's box without hurting anyone? I'm not strong enough to fight or banish such a creature. It's been ages since I've been there, but there was a cathedral located in the middle of the Alley of Dangerous Angles. A priest or someone who gains their powers from a higher source might be able to help you. Thanks.
Updated my journal.
Okay. So we go into the Alley of Dangerous Angles. Well, first we become a wizard. Then we go to the Alley of Dangerous Angles. Kebab, fucking Ragged William or whatever the fuck his shit name is. Find this temple, and ask a priest to fucking get rid of this fucking box.
I'm gone.
So let's go talk to Giscorl, the very strange clothier. Giscorl. I'm here to pick up someone's wash, Mebeth, the midwife in Ragpicker's Square. Washcloth? Yes, Mebeth. Ragpicker's Square. Ragpicker. I know, I remember. He holds up a trembling finger as if telling you to wait. Wait for him to fetch the wash. He comes back with a flattened mass of green rags, thin as paper yet so stiff that they look like they could double as wooden boards. The rags are so caked with a greenish lime starch that they look like it could take years of soaking to relax them. How many times did you clean these? Giscorl, washcloth, starch cloth, every 5th day. Washcloth, starch cloth, every 5th day. Giscorl, wash many years. Always starch cloth on 5th day. Giscorl's ritual. But they're ruined. Washcloth is Giscorl's ritual. Must starch cloth every 5th day. What's the point of doing it every 5 days when they don't need... Never mind, just give me them. Give cloth. They're heavy. It's like carrying an armload of bricks. I'll take them back to Mebeth then. 15 pounds. Baby Jesus. Oofa. Doofa. Fuck, that sucks. Oop. Well, here's hoping she doesn't care that her clothing has been ruined.
Done.
Okay. Mebeth, I got your clothes and they're all fucked up. I brought your wash. I think Giscorl was a little heavy on the cleaning ritual, though. At least they won't tear. Or bend. What's with Giscorl? His hands were all scarred, and he seemed slow. Well, child, sometimes one burns with the art, and other times the art burns ye. Is that what happened to him? Mayhap. There's some for who using the art is like breathing. They strolls about with pointy hats and stinkweed pipes. Then there's hedge wizards and plain-touched gypsies and fortune casters and half-seers and midwives who flicker with the art. Them have a harder time of it. And Giscorl was one of them. Aye, so to speak. In some ways, he's no different now than he was. Addicted to habit and ritual. She sets down the stiff rags. They clunk as she places them on the floor. I know there's one last thing I need from you, child. Of course. What do you need? Only this. I need some inks for scribing, some ingredients in one of me cookery books. I'll need you to fetch someone from the merchants, 'cause Ajay be her name. Very well. I'll go see if I can find her.
Updated my journal. I'm gone.
I feel like we too are completing this, are performing our ritual. We go to the market, we find a thing, and we come back. We go to the market, we find a thing, and we come back. We go to the market, we find a thing, and we come back.
The worst place we can be in Sigil at the worst time.
Really? It's pronounced with a hard G?
Right.
I guess that kind of makes sense. Josa Kai. Or is it Kosajai? Mebeth said you sell ink. She sent me to purchase some. Ink? Nay, sir, I sell no inks. I just sells fish. Are you sure? Mebeth the midwife in Ragpicker's Square mentioned you specifically. Well, Kosajai was my dam's name, and me granddam's name, so it could be any of us. Yet they're both in the dead book, so only this Kosajai matters. No idea what she's on about. A midwife in Picker Square, you say? Don't know her, I don't. So you don't have any ink. Well then, she said you would be able to help me, but if that's not the case, never mind. Now hold on, your midwife friend's not all wrong. I know how you can get ink, but it may not be the ink you're looking for. The ink I'm thinking of bleeds from the gills of a Brogota fin, it does. This Brogota fin bleeds ink? Aye, thing is, that fish is not for eating. It's got a terrible taste, scalds the tongue. You can ask Miriam. She pitches her fish cell down a street a southerly way. She might have one of them fish she needs on her pole. Okay, I can work with that. Have you heard of the Brigota fin? I was told it bleeds ink from its gills. Aye, that fish is a strange one, it is. Not many have heard of it, unless it want to eat it. Difficult to kill, even in death it still seems to live. Not many want to latch their teeth around something that still writhes. But do you have one?
Updated my journal.
Aye, but the ink? You'll be needing something to carry it in. Have you a bowl or a cup perchance? Or a tankard? Maybe one of the merchants is selling one. No. One of these people sells high-end cups. Was that Profira? No. She's doomsaying. Okay, so Kosa Jai sells fish, but not the fish we're looking for. What are you selling right now? I need something to hold ink. A tankard or a goblet. I'm looking for the cheapest one. It's covered in dents. Its handles look like it's about to fall off. This one looks like it was used on someone's skull. She smiles slightly. It'll do.
Updated my
Thanks.
journal.
The battered tankard. Okay, so it may have been used to kill someone, but yeah, whatever. It's a cup. It'll hold. I bought a tankard. Can I get the ink from the fish? She nods and plucks the fish from her pole. It twitches as she grabs it, then starts lashing about as she begins to twist it like a rag. She wrings it until bluish-black ichor begins to trickle from the fish's gills. When your tankard is almost full, she relaxes her grip and throws the twitching fish into a sack. Thanks.
Updated my journal.
Farewell. An ink-filled tankard. Okay. We got ink. We got a weird bramble frame. And we have laundry so stiff and heavy it could be used as building material. Is there something about this I'm not getting? Maybe you can figure it out.
I'm gone.
Use your head. Come now. It's not that crazy. Here's the ink you wanted. Prime ink, fresh it is, aye? You've done well, child, all I've asked. Now I ask you again, after all you've seen, do you still want to learn the art? Yes, after all, the guiding goal of your errands was to test my persistence, was it not? Mayhap, child, mayhap. And that's not all. You knew who I had to see to accomplish each errand, didn't you? Mayhap, child, mayhap, if and so, what did your senses tell you about them? Mourns for trees showed me that my beliefs affect the world around me. Giscoral taught me that ritual is a wasted effort if the purpose of the ritual is ignored. Miriam taught me that no matter how much I think I know, there is still so much I can learn from another's eyes. Mebeth is silent for a moment, then she walks slowly over to you and touches you on the cheek. Child, ye will be a master sorcerer one day, ye will. Ye have the knowing of it, yet you've come to old Mebeth for help, ye have. What could a midwife teach such as one? Much, Mebeth. I want to learn all you have to teach. So you'll walk the path, then? First things firstly, just having the knack for the art isn't enough. You need some means of giving it focus, usually spells. The spells are usually in a book, so the art demands you have a spell book for its like afore you can cast spells. Can you read? Yes. Then let's test it. Can you read this? Mebeth draws forth a small tattered card. It looks like a recipe. Examine it. The writing on the recipe swims before your eyes, each symbol twisting out of focus whenever you try and read it. Almost instinctively, you relax your eyes, allowing them to take in the page all at once, and the symbols suddenly bleed together. The recipe lists measurements, ingredients. It appears to be some sort of minor divination. A minor divination, isn't it? Looks like it's a spell that allows the user to see the nature of an item, to see whether it's enchanted or not. Who are ye to test old Mebeth so? Are ye some fiend? What's wrong? No, well, not to my knowledge. What's wrong? Some have called me so, but not in my presence. Holy shit.
Updated my journal.
Not expecting it, was I? But you see, it's written in the language of the art. If you're not a mageling yet, it should be a swirl, a jumble, a mishmash. Yet clear as crystal, you pluck the sense of it right up. Mayhap you tell Mebeth why that is. I don't really know. I just knew what it said. I think I may have known once, but forgot. Seeing the symbols jarred my memory. Or else a natural gift you may have. No matter, no matter. You've just shaved seasons off of your learning you have. And I'd been looking for someone to handle the chores around here I had. Maybe it's just as well then. If you need help with anything around here, you can still ask. It's the least I can do in exchange for your teaching me. No, don't worry yourself about that. Well, you can read spells well enough, but spells are no good to you without a book to put them in. Do you have one? This'll do. That? It's just a frame. Ah, but so are you, child. Still holding the frame, she picks up one of the starched rags you got from DraxxKraven. With a yank, she pulls off the greenish starched surface film. Whatever DraxxKraven uses in the wash, it works better than curing, stretching, and stoning does on a normal rag. I can't afford parchment. Can't. Parchment. She takes the starchy film and pulls it over the black barb frame, latching the rag's edges onto the hooks around the frame until it looks like a small greenish-black painter's canvas. It's missing something. It needs something painted on it. Or written on it. She takes the tankard of ink you've given her and sits down next to her. She dips one of her fingernails into the tankard, then draws it out. Mumbling to herself, she begins to scratch symbols onto the frame one by one, still mumbling. Wait. All's done. Mebeth stands, drying her ink-stained finger on her robe. She tilts her head, regarding the strange framed page in front of her. A page for your spell book it is. She indicates that you should pick it up. Take it. Inside your spell book are your recipes, your spells, if you will. As long as they sit in the book, though, they're just words. The art demands you pluck the magic out of the book and put them in your attic, your head, before you can tap their power. Go on. You put them in your attic by studying them, memorizing them. You usually need to rest first before you can do this, though. Any questions? No, Mebeth. No questions, eh? Well, no, you should have questions. You know all about how to memorize spells, do you? You're a sharp one. You don't need any more of Mebeth's words a-gobbling up your precious time. You're a master sorcerer already. I meant no questions on what you'd said. Please explain how to... I think I understand the basics. Please explain how to memorize spells. All right, then. Here's the dark of how you memorize spells. Yep. How many spells can I cast? You can cast only one, mayhap 2 spells before needing to rest again. As a tiny flittling mage, there isn't much room in your attic, so use your spells wisely until you get wiser in the art. As your power increases, you'll get more room in your attic for spells. Go on. You can only cast spells you've memorized, so if you want to use the art to say, mend something twice, you need to memorize the spell how many times? Twice. Twice. How can I get more?
Updated my journal.
Keep your eyes and ears out for learning. Even common folks might have some minor magics to teach. There's scrolls, recipes, books, and even some stranger items that have spells inscribed on them. If you find one, just examine it close and copy it into your book if you want it. Got it. I can also show you more spells if you return, especially when you've got a little bit more of the planes in you. I'd appreciate that. Thanks. Before you go, you'll need some magics for you to whet your appetite. You could copy these into your book, so they can go into your attic as soon as possible. Thank you, Mebeth.
Updated my journal.
There's more. These will protect you on your travels. I no longer wear them myself, so go ahead and take them. Thank you again. All right, child, don't tarry here any longer. One such as you has other ways to spend one's time rather than hanging around old Mebeth. Now come on, Mebeth, you're not that old. Pah, you flatterer! Your tongue is so lined with silver and shame of Batazu. Get ye hence! Thanks for everything, Mebeth. Pah, you can thank me by not playing the addle cove with what you've learned. The art's damned many a fool who sought to bend it in the ways the art weren't meant to bend. Now get along with ye.
I feel stronger.
Hell yeah, I do. I am a level 1 mage. Did I say level 1? I meant level 3. Hell yeah. Do I retain? I do retain my weapon proficiencies. Interesting. There might be a limit to how high they can go as a level 5 fighter. If I swap back to fighter, I will have the experience that I had as a fighter when I left. Alrighty then. I can wear the Magus Guard now. as well as possibly identify some things. Blood Bridge. The tattered card. Okay, so these recipes are not scrolls. They're just like, here, learn these spells. They're fun. You'll like them. In addition, many of the weapons I have in my possession I can no longer use. Usable only by mages or the nameless one. I should get that box to where it can be of use. Scroll of Strength. Never know when I might need to be strong. Ice Knife. I'll take that. Scroll of Chromatic Orb. Well, I don't need to learn it, but I can always use it. Ice Knife is a level 2 spell. Fires a magical ice dagger at the target. 2 to 8 points of damage per dagger. Strikes a solid object or a creature, all the knife shatters, releasing a wave of numbing cold. Interesting. This spell seems pretty sick. Caster gains 1 additional ice dagger for every 2 levels after 3rd level, so to a maximum of 5 daggers. Subsequent daggers can be fired off by a subsequent click. Okay, so it gives me daggers that I can throw. Sick. And I'm pretty good with edged weapons. And Tome of Strength. 60 minutes per level? Grants immense strength to the weak, or greater strength to the strong. Okay. So it'll boost up a warrior even more. So this might be a useful spell for Dakan, or it could give me more strength to help throw those daggers or something. Obsidian Earring, Thief Skills. Useless. To me, anyway. At the very least, they're heavy and he can carry them. Perfect. I don't know. I just want to keep that cobblestone around. Also, my armor class has reached a respectable level because now I have a thingy. A wizard thingy that protects me. Let's look at my mage spell books. I have one thing to identify, so I'll fill the rest with chromatic orbs. What does Blood Bridge do exactly? A bizarre compact of the healer's heart and the merchant's mind. This necromantic spell transforms your very body into a marketplace that barters life and death. Your life essence can be given to others, at the cost to yourself. When cast, the mage can select any living non-undead target within touch range and drain life from himself. 2 hit points plus 1 hit point per level of the caster, and give it to the target. I imagine that's very useful for the nameless one, considering he regenerates his wounds very quickly. I could heal Dakan with this. And then there's strength and ice knives. Bloodbridge is no use right now. But I'll keep the ice knife spell. That sounds useful. Boom. You're a wizard, nameless one.